I hadn't stepped outside for fresh air. I stepped outside because if I'd stayed a moment longer, I might have driven my fist straight through the wall. Her voice floated from the half-open window, sharp, careless, cutting. Laughter followed, glasses clinking. And then the words, my wife's words, cold as steel, without hesitation. I can drop him whenever I want. He's useless to me. The laughter that erupted was vicious, hers the loudest. My heart didn't shatter. It iced over. Something inside me went quiet, and in that stillness, a switch flipped. We had been married 6 years. 6 years of shared routines, quiet meals, private jokes I thought were ours. I'd held her when she was sick. She once told me I was her anchor when life felt too heavy. I believed her. I believed it all. She wasn't only my wife, she was supposed to be my reflection, my equal. Or so I thought. Looking back, the signs had been there, late nights at the office, her phone always turned face down, excuses padded with too many details. I dismissed it all because love has a way of blinding the one who most wants to believe. That night, the house pulsed with her firm's people, music low, conversation easy, laughter rolling. I lingered quietly at the edges, her dependable shadow. Until the laughter turned sharp. Until I heard my name dragged like dirt across the floor by the woman who had sworn to protect it. I didn't confront her. I didn't storm in or demand answers. I simply walked out into the cold, letting it cool the rage rising in me. Then I pulled out my phone. The thing about betrayal is it doesn't just wound you, it sharpens you. It brings a kind of ruthless clarity. For months, I had been collecting evidence. Quietly. Patiently. Screenshots, bank statements, GPS records from her car. Photographs of her business lunches that were really dates with him, her senior partner. Every lie neatly catalogued, waiting. I hadn't known when I'd use it, until that night. Until she laughed at me like I was nothing more than a chained dog on her porch. That's when patience ended. That's when I chose execution. The call I made was short. Barely a dozen words. But enough. Her lover wasn't just her superior, he was the firm's founder. Old school, cutthroat, a man who built his empire on discipline and image. I had already sent him the evidence days before, framing it as concern for the company's reputation. I had kept my identity hidden, until now. That night, I told him the truth. I told him I was at the party. I told him if he wanted proof, he should come immediately. He didn't waste a second. I was leaning against the siding when his car tore up the street and halted hard. He didn't even close the door before he stormed inside. His presence cut the music, the chatter, the laughter into silence. Gray suit, red-faced, fury embodied. He spotted her instantly. His hand clamped around her arm, her glass still in it. The glass slipped from her hand, shattering at her feet. "What have you done?" he thundered. Her smile vanished, her face drained of color. The co-workers who had been laughing with her only moments before now stared, stiff with unease, waiting to see where the explosion would land. I stayed in the doorway, calm, steady. She fumbled through excuses, loyalty, misunderstanding, but he silenced her before she could finish. Her betrayal wasn't only mine. It was a violation of the company's trust, a scandal threatening the empire he had built. The evidence was already in his hands, the file I had given him weeks ago. Her affair with her superior, falsified over time, dinners charged as business but recorded in hotel bills. In front of everyone, he told her she was done. Fired. Effective immediately. Her superior, the man she had relied on as her safety net, was doomed as well. The room didn't clap, but the silence carried the weight of approval. The colleagues who once shared her jokes now turned away, ashamed. The man she'd risked everything for stared at the ruins of his career, powerless. Her eyes finally found mine. For the first time, she really saw me, not the weak shadow she believed she owned, not the fool she ridiculed, but the one holding all the strings. Her lips parted, searching for a plea, but I turned and left her to the collapse I had designed. The consequences came swiftly. Within 2 days, her name was scrubbed from the company site, her email sealed, her reputation obliterated. In a small industry, word spreads fast. No other firm would touch her after rumor turned into headline. At home she tried. Tears, rehearsed apologies, recycled promises. She said she loved me, said it was a mistake, said she was afraid of losing me. But she was already too late. My suitcase had been packed for weeks, hidden in the garage. The house was in my name, the finances secured, the lawyer prepared. I didn't shout, I didn't insult her. I only handed her an envelope and gave her 72 hours to leave. People imagine revenge as fire, wild, violent, uncontrolled. They are wrong. True revenge is ice, deliberate, patient, sharp as a blade that slices before you realize you're bleeding. I didn't need rage. I only needed one careful pull of a thread, and the false life she had woven unraveled beneath her. The last time I saw her was outside the courthouse weeks later. She looked smaller, empty, like years had been carved from her in days. She tried to catch my eyes, but I passed without a word. It wasn't cruelty. It was closure. Sometimes, late at night, I think back to her laughter drifting through the window, her voice laced with contempt as she bragged she could discard me whenever she wished. She wasn't entirely wrong. She just never thought I'd discard her first, strip her not only from our marriage but from the world she thought she commanded. Justice doesn't always wear sirens or shackles. Sometimes it's quiet, calculated, and carried out with a single call. And when it comes, it is devastatingly beautiful.